Hello everybody and welcome to a beautiful day here at my Coldwater, Michigan hometown store, getting you some updated footage on the 16FQ Wolf Pup. And the one we're looking at today is basically about the most heavily outfitted and equipped you can get it straight from the factory, with the Black Label edition, the adventure package, and maybe even a few other things that we're going to hit on as we go. So basically this is not the standard model that you're looking at, although we do tend to carry a handful of those too. It is not an earth-shatteringly new floor plan, but it is a fantastic little solo runaround camper that has some decent couples camp capacity. I will say though, I have noticed a frequency over the years of couples who made this their first camper, who within about 2 years ended up trading up for something with more room. So you may consider, if it's your first time around, maybe going a little bit bigger, and I hope you appreciate that kind of information and insight. That's what I want to give you today. Fair thoughts to help you find your second camper the first time around. Now, if you look at this one, yes, it has a folding bed. I think that qualifies it. It fits somewhere within the category of Murphy beds. I don't consider this a Murphy bed camper first. That is a Camp Queen. It's one of those short queen mattresses, and I think that by default, when I look at this RV, I think the bed kind of belongs down most of the time. But where this one kind of comes into play, even though it is a small space, if you get stuck inside on a rainy day, you could put the bed away, as it were. Or if you have friends over and you want to chew some fat and shoot some breeze or whatever, and you need that extra seating space, and you don't want people sitting on your bed, because that's kind of a personal space. It's weird, you know, when other people are on your bed. I think it's weird. Maybe I'm neurotic. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. You can put it away, but the way this one works, it kind of creates like a padded shelf behind the bed, which sort of makes like this little miniature day bed, or like dog bed, cat bed. Like, there's weird different ways that you could read this one, like a little reading book nook, basically. I don't know. I'm not saying that's the perfect solution. That's not what it's intended for. But the way that they did this one, it kind of offers a little bit more than meets the eye.
Now, when I do a lot of my videos, especially on the bigger RVs that have like a theater seat straight across from the entertainment center, I like to do what I call putting you in the driver's seat. And in a way, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm actually starting over on the Murphy sofa location, or if you wake up in bed, this is kind of what you might see right here. And we're looking obviously over at the door side of the RV. And one of the kind of nice, pleasant surprises you see is this little camper is excellent about giving us door side window coverage. Now, the window in the door doesn't have a privacy shade, but it is slim shade prepped. That's a very easy thing if you're looking to be a little slim shady. Well, then you can just stand up and get yourself one of those, no big deal. It's 6.5 foot tall inside, so standard RV height. If, it's tall enough that I can walk under that air conditioner without my peach fuzz scraping that thing. I'm a little over 6 foot tall myself. But, you know, that might be a thing to consider. If you look over on the dead left in the center of the screen right now, you see some household and USB outlets. Anywhere that you really sit or sleep, you're going to see Cherokee be very good about those. We are carpetless. We are easy cleaning. We are pet friendly on this one, I do believe. Small camper, so if you got some big dogs, it's gonna get tight in here real awful quick. And I always kind of would have liked the idea of the back of that bench. Whenever it's next to the door and you have a dinette right there, I wish that was open for like a shoe garage, because there is storage below those benches. It's just not directly accessible. That's probably more of a symptom of the price point of this camper. The tech package up here, if you will. So first of all, it does still have an AM/FM stereo head unit that has some HDMI inputs, USB plugs. Also, you can Bluetooth to this. A lot of the other Cherokee stuff, you Bluetooth only basically to just the speaker system. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're our only hope, as this thing lights up over here. Motion activated, kind of, you know, lights up, lets you know your holding tank capacities and stuff, but you can also Bluetooth that, and that Bluetooth function is also where your backup camera is going to come into play. Now, if I sit right down at the Murphy sofa, or if you're laying in bed at night, this would kind of be your view, and that black square across from us, that's where you might mount a television. You'll see a matching mount outside, so if you feel like it, you could have one TV that floats in and out, or you could just get a second one of the little brackets that slots into that, well, bracket, saddle, seat thing right there. And you could, you know, have a dedicated outside TV that you just float indoors and outdoors when and if you need it. As I back up here, that big black box, that is our 12-volt DC compressor fridge. Wolf Pup was one of the first little camper brands to kind of standardize a big refrigerator like that. And one of the other differences that you'll see here, one of the very few differences rather, on the inside of the RV in a black label that we're in versus a standard series, is that this does have solid surface countertops, whereas the standard series has a sealed edge thermofoil, like our dining table. Now, I got a quick question for you. I just sort of looked at it, because this RV has very limited countertop prep space. Let's, just being real about it. But I kind of thought about it, and I realized that if you arrange the sink covers like I've done right here, I think you can actually still have a decent chunk of operable prep space while still having some sink function. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's a perfect solution, but in a small camper, sometimes perfect solutions aren't necessarily available or viable. And I don't know. I'm just kind of curious what you think of that. Just a little thing that I noticed. Interestingly, in the standard series, they don't have a split sink cover. It's just a one-piece, full circular, looks like a painter's palette kind of thing. Now, by the way, over here, you might notice a little, red readout. That is our battery voltage monitor. Basically, if you're not familiar with any RV solar stuff, it's a very simple way, almost like a gas gauge in your vehicle, of gauging how much juice you got left in the battery or batteries up front. Let's start taking a look in a little more detail here, just cracking open the kitchen storage. No drawers in these. That is one thing that I wish they did. I wish they had some kind of drawer action in this. So that is the thing that you'll need to plan around. Now, I didn't open the storage cabinet over the dinette, as long as we're talking about storage. And it's not that I'm not willing or I'm afraid to find something up there. It's that it's a nice chunk of storage, but it has what I call the gravity close system, which is a nice way of saying it has no sort of strut to hold itself open. Now, so maybe DIY, camping hacks for that is like you get some kind of like baggage door clip or something that might be able to hold that up, or you just add a strut to it. If the only thing you need on this RV is just a little Bob Seger strut on the cabinet door, call us. We can do silly stuff like that. So you saw what the view looked like from the front sofa, but let's dive into all of this up here. What's kind of interesting is in the past, those side hanging closet wardrobe towers were actually optional, and thankfully they have kind of standardized those. Now, in the Black Label series, you will also get these bendy two element, like reading and or spotlights or floodlights. You tap it once and you get blue. If you hold it, it brightens and lightens right up. You also get that extra fuzzy little pillow right there that you'll see how much I enjoy that in just a few minutes. That's not ominous or anything. I don't know it is. There are also a pair of removable little kind of like armrests for the Murphy sofa. And where those things are located right now, I'm not sure. I know where my wife would tell me to stick them, and that is a 1-star would not recommend experience for anyone who does happen to be curious. But giving you some more detail on this thing, this is a 60 by 74 Camp Queen folding bendy bed kind of mattress sort of thing. Now, there's a few things. Like I said, I kind of consider this to be like a what do I want to say? A couples camper or solo camper with just a front bed first and foremost, but you can put the bed away. I will tell you, the Backbreaker Death Wafer folding mattress that this comes with is not stellar. It's not stellar by any stretch of the imagination, and it doesn't have a full bed platform like a wood platform under it. So the bottom half of the mattress is on top of the squishy sofa, so you get almost like a double squish kind of sinking feeling with that. And I know that I'm not painting this picture to be the most enjoyable. I'm trying to show you a real world representation of what it looks like using this bed every day. Because think about every time I've made one of these videos, pulling the bedding off, setting the mattress down, tucking the bedding back on, because this style mattress, you just can't leave the bedding made. It's a bit of a process. And for me to do these videos, I have to do it 3 or 4 times. Every single morning, every single night, you may need to contend with how you go about this bedding. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to be real, and I hope you appreciate that here. That being said, it does provide an awesome function, and this style of Murphy sofa thing does create full storage beside, below, and above the mattress, which a lot of Murphy sofas have absolutely crap storage. So it does have some superior qualities as well. Not to mention those secondary, tertiary kind of functions like me crawling up there like a day bed. You got a big dog, that might be your big dog day space to get him kind of up out of the way off your feet or something like that, you know. It just depends. It might be the great camper for you. It might not. I don't know. I just want you to see what it really takes. And again, for a small camper like this, I think the front end storage on this is about the best I've ever seen. Now, you can see household and USB outlets over there. That's pretty much a no-brainer. That's pretty straightforward. But what the crap, Batman, is this thing over here? And I'm pretty sure that's actually even exactly how you asked the question. Anyway, basically, it's a miniature inverter brick built right into the RV. It has a single household outlet that if you flick the switch on, it will pull household 110 power, and it'll pull the 12-volt power off the battery and invert it and create 110 household power. Now, when you do that, you can run things like a standing fan or, whatever the case may be, household plug-up appliances, but it will create a more significant draw on the battery when you do that. Now it does, if you flick the inverter function off and you're plugged into park power, yes, it just works like a household outlet. And there's also a set of USB plugs on there. There's a USB Type A and Type C, so it doesn't matter what kind of smarty pants phone or fancy gadget wristwatch, go-go gadget Dick Tracy situation you got going on here. You can do all kinds of neat little power widget whiz-bangs thing off of this, or not. Now, one other interesting note on this is the function of the awning switch off that control pad currently. Notice how those blue speakers, well, they're now blue, they lit up. The awning button activates the outside awning light and the interior little accent lights off, like your ceiling speaker system, which I don't know that I necessarily love, but at the same time, it is actually kind of cool to be inside the RV and sitting here and know, oh, crap, I left the awning lights on. The neighbors are going to be kind of cheesed at me. The other interesting thing is that same light switch will, it has a little indirect light that shines down right here, and I'm a little close to it right now. But as I back up, you can see it's inverted. It actually says Wolf Pup. It's upside down. Or Black Label, rather. Sometimes it says Wolf Pup, and a Black Label, it says Black Label. And it's kind of just like a little welcome home light that welcomes you back into the RV, but when we're facing this direction, well, it doesn't quite make as much sense. But once again, you come up here, you wave your Obi-Wan Kenobi hand, you can just turn all your lighting all off like there with one switch. Now, all of our ceiling lighting has no direct switches, but they are still individually click capable, and I'm going to take a little pause in between turning that off and on in case somebody happens to be sensitive to like light flickers and whatnot. Now, in the standard Wolf Pup, you'd get the 4-inch fart fan from the dollar store. Black Label upgrades us to the full Fajita Friday Fume Fighter right there. And this is a more basic series of camper. Even though we're looking in the kind of more ritzy Black Label, it is basically just a plain wall back here. No window, no towel bars, but keep in mind, this being a wood-studded structure, every 16 inches on center roughly, you've got a stud that you could tap into. So if you do feel like mounting some stuff to the walls, that is something you actually can do here that you really shouldn't do on a lot of laminated RVs. That's an interesting thing people don't realize. If something's not already affixed to the wall in a laminated RV, you probably shouldn't put it there. In a stick-built wood-structured wall, you can add stuff provided you get a stud finder. Now, could somebody in the comment section please do me a favor, dads probably, and inform the class how you properly calibrate a stud finder, because if you don't know, that's definitely a lesson you need to learn. I've even I've been teaching my daughter that one just because, you know, I want her to be prepared for the world. Now, in years past, this was just a mirror on the wall. I wasn't a fan. I love that they made that, let me open this up, a full medicine cabinet right there. And you may have noticed most of the door area underneath the sink is not storage. That's because there's a fridge outside. Now, there's one major problem in this RV for somebody like me, and it's the lack of headroom in the shower. If you take note here, Black Label Edition gives us this crazy shower fixture. The standard series just has a more traditional shower head. But the Black Label version, you know, you got that big square diamond thing that can pivot around, and like a shower wand to, I don't know, give yourself a, you know, car wash in your undercarriage. But there is a lack of headroom in here because you do need to step up into the shower. And it also has a little bit of what I call the Cherokee shub, where it's not quite a shower, not quite a tub. It allows them to maintain that awesome elbow room on either side of the toilet. It's not so deep that getting into it is a problem. Because this bathroom has a full dedicated sink, you don't have to worry about some weird kind of corner ice bucket sink over here. But once again, like I said, give you a better look at this. And, you know, here we have, you know, mic check. We got mic 1 and check 2 right here.
Now, we kind of talked about how on the inside for living space or camping space, whatever you want to call it, it could be a little bit tight for a couple people. Well, those same factors are also very nice when it comes to towing the RV. It's only 7 foot wide. It's not extra wide. It's not extra tall. It has a maximum GVW of about 5,000 pounds. So it is something that, you know, doesn't take a big giant monster truck to be able to tow around, you know. A mid-size pickup with a tow package or appropriate SUV would be able to realistically handle this one. So this could be a camper where if you're like, listen, I know it's a little tight, but we're not going to live inside the thing. And I don't know, maybe you are. Some people do. But, you know, it's not too big. What? Oh, we got a little battery box lid over there in the background. I will have to track that down, put it where it goes. Sorry, a squirrel. What I'm getting at, you don't necessarily have to give up your daily driving vehicle just to do a little bit of camping. Now, this is something that kind of throws people. We're looking at a Black Label edition right here. You see fiberglass on the sides. You start thinking fiberglass all the way around. If we come up front here and we do a little bit of the wedding ring test, you hear that is still aluminum. And actually what they're doing here is a 0.04 inch aluminum, which is 67% thicker than the conventional corrugated skin that you find even on the base standard Wolf Pup. Effectively, the whole nose of this thing is diamond plate. Well, except it just doesn't have the diamond, you know, pattern on it, the quilted northern diamond pattern or whatever the crap it is. The sidewalls of this, though, you see that high gloss fiberglass, and you see those black frameless windows, those heavily tinted windows. Those are, you know, the signature calling cards of the Black Label edition. The thing that throws people, and I hope you appreciate, like if this was news to you, leave me a little note that says, hey, thanks, I didn't know that, or something. I don't know, or don't. I can't tell you what to do. But this is not an aluminum structure. When you start seeing fiberglass, like that Nobo, like that Freedom Express over there, a couple used RVs in the background, those things have an aluminum structure, at least in the sidewalls. This does not. This is still a fully stick-built camper. The fiberglass is laminated to basically 3/8 inch plywood, in point of pure technicality, that is accurate. And then it is hung and affixed to the standard wood skeleton wall. That is why Black Label Edition adds weight, and that is actually one of the points of consideration I want to give you here. If you're looking at this today with the Black Label package, with the Adventure package, which adds all this little kind of brush guard diamond plate, doesn't really do much, just kind of gives it a little trimmed out look. But you know, yeah, flipping the axle, putting on the bigger tires and stuff like that, we have added a lot of weight to this camper today, which eats into your cargo capacity. Now, something Cherokee's gotten very good at, Cherokee being the parent, effectively, the Wolf Pup's a member of that family of RVs. Something they've gotten good at is if they, you know, you add Black Label packages and stuff to an RV that would make it dangerously low cargo capacity, they will tend to bump up the axle the way that in the 1980s we would pump up the jam. So keep that in mind. Power tongue jack, Black Label edition instead of the manual quick jack. But just to give you a look, here's what the standard tongue jack looks on the standard series. With a little power drill, you can, for 8 seconds, you can put that thing up and down. And Black Label edition will give us that hard shell cover. Down below here, we're seeing the upgraded quick drop stabilizers right here that basically have an additional stabilizer bar built into them. The reason I want to focus on them up here is this RV has front and rear stabilizer jacks. A lot of single axles only have the rear jack. So this will be far more stable on a site than a lot of other little things. You see the propane cooker hooker there. The underbelly is not enclosed. This is not any kind of winter camping Four Seasons rig or anything like that. And again, you know, hope you appreciate that we'll go out of our way to kind of discuss things like that. Now, over here in the campsite of the RV, we've got that giant picture window just overlooking everything. And down below it is actually a TV mount. You get, oh, wow, you got a nice reflection of my balding head up there, didn't you? It's kind of funny, when you're doing all this camera work, you get kind of really focused on what's in the viewfinder, and sometimes, somehow, you don't even see what's in the viewfinder until it's too late. Oh, God, I just ran directly into a grill mount on a bumper of the RV behind me. Ooh, that felt really good stabbing into the kidneys. Yes, yes. Oh, okay. Anyway, we were talking about stability. Take note of this. Most little campers will put the rear stabilizers dead on the tail of that sucker. They put these right behind the tire. And while that won't completely isolate the wiggle jiggle you get from moving around in the RV, with the tires, it will greatly reduce it. This RV is going to feel, as far as a single axle goes, pretty darn good at a sight. Now, over here you got the little mini fridge, keeping the party going outside. I've always kind of looked at this and thought, man, that's a perfect little drink station. Or you could have a chair sitting next to it or something like that. You could use it like a little bit of a chair side stand. Some different ways you could have that there. And just depending on what we do happen to be imbibing, you've got the drunken uncle leash latch right there, just in case somebody ties one. I'm just kind of realizing this does not have that cargo rack on the back of it, and it kind of makes me forget that on their bigger stuff that's pretty much a standard feature, but on some of their smaller stuff that is still an optional piece of equipment. So let me ask you, cargo rack or no cargo rack, what's the better way to build one of these? I'm kind of curious. I do like that third taillight, and up top there you also have the LCI Insight Bluetooth backup camera, factory standard on these, and they are finally including at least a telescopic removable ladder mount up there. So if you want to get up top and do some upkeep and maintenance, you can. And you saw in our earlier footage, in that what I call the floor plan in a flash, you saw that there are some solar panels up there. That is something else that they've improved on versus last year. Previously, these were a 50-watt solar package, and it's not like they moved heaven and earth and made massive changes. But they did improve the charge controller, and it is now a 100-watt factory solar package, which is cool. And I think they have some kind of level of expansion available optionally on that as well. Now, I'm kind of paused here because you can see a full black tank flush, a full hot, I don't know what a half black tank flush is, but apparently a full black tank flush made sense. I'm an idiot. A full hot cold outside utility shower is what was in my head. And then down here, new for 23, they updated and went to a tankless on-demand water heater system. Now again, being fair, that is on the opposite side of the RV from the bathroom, but considering the fact that this is a short RV, there's not a whole lot of water in the pipes on the way there that you would potentially waste if you're boondock dry camping. But theoretically, a little bit more than there otherwise could be, and that's the thing. So, every RV has its ups and its downs, and I'm just trying to help you navigate through them. So once again, that's the Black Label upgrade package, and that right there is a little bit more of what the standard edition looks like. And I have no idea how well that lined up on the editing front. I kind of thought it'd be fun to try to do my little I Dream of Jeannie cutaway. As the average RVer starts to get a little bit younger, I'm afraid that some of my references are getting a little dated. Does anybody even know what I'm talking about right now? Anyway, whether you care about my I Dream of Jeannie editing or not, check the link in the video description. I'll leave one up there. Whether it's the Standard Series, Black Label Edition, Adventure Package, whatever we have in stock, the way we have them built, and with the shipping cost for each individual RV factored in, we will have them listed right on our website. So you can get some very specific pricing, whether you check it when this video comes out or 6 months from now, in case manufacturer's pricing changes. That will always give you some current figures for anything we have on hand. And again, if you appreciate things like that, things, you don't have to call us for a price or something like that. If you like how we show you the good with the bad, tell you how maybe it's going to be a little too small for you the first time around. Stuff like that, shooting you straight best we can. Hit that subscribe button, like our video, and catch us on the next one. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.